Hong Kong calls itself Asia's world city and boasts its outperforming rivals like Shanghai, Tokyo and Singapore in the race to be the region's financial capital. But Hong Kong's silver lining's facing a very big cloud on the horizon, and it's very polluted. Air quality in the city's getting worse, and local activists are asking how much the government and the people are willing to do about it. Norman Hamont reports.
It is surely one of the world's great urban vistas, Hong Kong's sparkling skyline, where the buildings don't just stand there, they put on a show. And the harbor buzzes with boats and lots of suggestions about how to spend your money. But to really see all of this at its best go at night, because come daylight, it's getting hard to see Hong Kong's skyline. Smog-shrouded skies have become part of daily life here. No city wants air so foul that landmarks, such as the famous Victoria Peak, are virtually obscured from view. But in Hong Kong, the stakes are especially high. The government knows it's competing with a handful of cities to be Asia's financial capital. The fear is if Hong Kong's environment goes, its talented expatriates could follow.
We provide an environment which is home for not just the locals, but also a lot of international travelers, investors, bankers, financiers. So, environment has never been so important an agenda to Hong Kong.
The city's citizens agree, according to one of Hong Kong's best-known think tanks, Civic Exchange. It routinely conducts polls to find out what issues Hong Kongers care about the most. More often than not, the environment is top of the list.
It has been a growing concern over the past year, I would say. People are getting more and more aware of the worsening air quality in Hong Kong.
It's easy to see why. In the 90s, the government toughened emission standards for cars and power plants. That improved air quality for a while, but now it's worsening again.
Of course, when you're talking about pollution in Hong Kong, you're not just talking about Hong Kong. You're also talking about the manufacturing colossus over the border, the Pearl River Delta in China, the so-called factory to the world. Much of Hong Kong's pollution does come from over there, Guangdong province. But environmental activists point out that an estimated 90,000 factories in Guangdong, maybe more, are owned or partly owned by Hong Kong businesses.
Those factories help ensure Shenzhen, the city across from Hong Kong, is covered in a nearly permanent haze of pollution. Nearly two-thirds of the year, it's officially labeled smoggy by Chinese guidelines, which are considerably more lax than standards in Hong Kong. To make inroads on air quality here, money from Hong Kong taxpayers is subsidizing anti-pollution programs for companies on the mainland, a recognition they are a big part of the problem.
And that's why government is anxious in putting through this clean production scheme, helping Hong Kong investor factory to clear their emission. While they are being located in the mainland, in the Pearl River Delta, they're actually, if they can do clean production, they're actually helping the air quality in the entire region.
The government and activists agree there is a common misconception when it comes to measuring air quality here. In years past, as much as 80% of the air pollution in Hong Kong was attributed to the mainland. New studies have revealed Hong Kong itself is responsible for at least half of its pollution, with power generation leading the way. Two-thirds of Hong Kong's electricity is generated by burning coal or oil. Plans to cut emissions will ultimately make electricity more expensive. And that, say analysts like Yan Yip, is when the real fight will begin to convince the public the costs are worth it.
We are still trying very hard to connect air quality and public health. Connect these two, because from our research and from our public engagement exercises in the past couple of months, we have noticed one thing. People in Hong Kong are still not yet ready to hook these two things up. That's air quality, public health.
Over there you have a clear example.
And environmental activists say when it comes to winning over the public, there's another issue that goes to the heart of what makes Hong Kong tick.
On one side, they want to improve the air quality, but on another hand, they keep building more roads and more building.
The lobby group Clear the Air says the nature of Hong Kong makes many people think of one thing when they think about the environment: the price tag. This is a city that revels in capitalism, where a relentless drive to acquire luxury is admired and expected.
Our biggest challenge is more on the communication side, and it would be to convince the public and government officials that it's possible to take care of the environment without threatening prosperity. I think most people consider that it is either the environment or prosperity. This debate is old-fashioned. It's no more true. This is totally obsolete.
Even so, it's a debate that may still have to be overcome in Hong Kong, because if it isn't, in this famously commercial city, many people may continue to see air like this as a regrettable but necessary cost of doing business.
Norman Hermont in Hong Kong.